Hi there and welcome back to Logic Language Learning. Now this is the second in a series of videos which are dealing with the future and the conditional. So to put that in very simple terms, the I will do something and the I would do something. So today we are looking at the I would do something. So can I strongly recommend, if you haven't already done so, that you go and look at the simple future, the futur simple video which has already been uploaded. So what is would? Okay, we are using this term, the conditional. Would is a phrase we use. We don't often even think about when we say would. We don't often even say would. We say I'd. Okay, so here's a couple of key facts. Would is a tense which is in the future. It hasn't happened yet, but it's not the future for the simple reason something else needs to happen. There is a condition on the would, okay? So for example, I will go swimming this afternoon. I will go swimming. This is a fact. I'm telling you this is a fact. I will go swimming, which we might reduce to I'll go swimming. Now, I would go swimming this afternoon suggests I would go swimming this afternoon if you invited me, or I would go swimming this afternoon if the pool were open, or I would go swimming this afternoon if there was somebody else who wanted to go with me. There was somebody else who wanted to go with me. Okay? We often use would on its own. I would like. I would like a coffee. I would like rather than want. Okay? Which is just a polite version of I want. But basically what is happening is there is something which hasn't happened yet, which is going to have a condition on it, which is different from our future, which is it is happening. Okay? So how we are going to form this in French is very, 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 very easy, okay? Can I ask you as well, when you're practicing this tense and when you hear to use this tense, can you be very, very careful in English? Because we often use the abbreviation, the contraction, I'd. So I would go, I'd go. I apostrophe D. I would stay if I could, I'd stay. So be very, very careful when you are translating the difference between I'd and the future, which would give me the conditional, so I'd like, or I had stayed, I'd stayed, which is our pluperfect tense, which is coming up in a later video. So let's just basically assume we're safe, we know we're using would, and how do we form it? So, we have previously talked about the method I want you to lock down, which is in the past we have two tenses. We have a messy tense, the was tense, yeah? And we have the neat tense with our action, bom bom bom. Bom 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 because we have three ingredients. I have done the verb, he is done the verb. In the future, I want you to equally think that we have two tenses, a messy tense and a neat tense. So the messy tense would be the would tense. Yeah, it's in the future, but there's a kind of a condition, there's something happening to it. The neat tense, I will do something, okay? So we've talked about then that there is a link between the was, yeah, and the would. And in fact, the endings, as you're going to see behind me, are exactly the same for both tenses. The difference being in the would tense, they are going on the end of the verb. So, that's our first idea. Was endings, a, ion, a. If they're new to you, can I ask you to look at the imperfect videos? Are going to be the same as the conditional, as the would endings. The only difference being that with the would endings, they're going on the end of the verb. Next idea for you. What did we say was the letter you were going to hear when you put anything in the future? So that could be I will do something or I would do something. You're going to hear the letter R. So with the logic language learning method, which is all about the mouth, all about the mind, and not about visualising, nobody visualises at speed, I want you to find the sound R. So same again as we did with the future, you need to be able to go straight to that R. Now sometimes you'll hear the R, for example, prendre, finir, which makes life easy. Sometimes you won't hear the R. To remind you, if I have an A verb, an ER verb, manger, mangeur, mangerai, okay? So we're assuming we are using the same technique as the future, plus an ending from the imperfect. And indeed, this tense is often called future stem plus imperfect ending, which means the thing we use to make the future, in most cases the infinitive, plus the ending from the was tense. So quickly remind me those was endings. They're ever so simple. Everybody's an A apart from Ion and EA. A, Ion, EA. Good. So, if we said the verb to eat, manger. Now sound the R sound for me, mangeur, okay? So he would eat, il mangerait, okay? Il mangerait. I would eat, je mangerais. Je mangerai. Okay? Now, you're probably thinking, hang on, but I have is j'ai, and using the kernel method, we're going to put the have at the end of the word, so I would eat, je mangerai. And you would be absolutely right. The difference is only a written difference, for the most part, unless we have a preposition afterwards, which is going to make us sound that letter S, but we don't worry about that for the moment. So for the most part, I would do something and I will do something is exactly the same pronunciation. So I will eat, je mangerai. I would eat, je mangerai. Okay? So they are going to sound the same, but we know in context. So let's think then about the rest of them. So I would eat, je mangerai. You would eat, tu mangerais. Everybody's A with this tense, remember? Everybody apart from Ion and EA. So he would eat, il mangerait. We would eat. Now, what was our was ending? It wasn't en, the classical nous ending. It was ion, wasn't it? Yeah, we said before with the imperfect. So we will eat, nous mangerions. Okay. What could we do as well? Nous. What else do we do with nous? We use the en word, on, and that uses he and she verbs. And he and she use a. Everybody uses a. So we would eat, on mangerait. Okay. He would eat, il mangerait. They would eat, ils mangeraient. Yeah, mangerait. The only two, again, we need to be particularly careful with are the nous mangerions, and vous mangeriez. Okay? Now, let's have a little mixture of these. Let's play some up, and in the next video I will be showing you exceptions to the rule of using the infinitive, of using the whole verb as your base. And in the video which follows that, we will be doing a nice jumping between the will and the would to see whether you're on your toes. So the trick for this tense is just to think everybody is an A. Quit thinking about the spelling. Everybody is an A. Okay? Apart from Ion and EA. So, verb to stay, rester, R-E-S-T-E-R. I would stay. A, go straight to A. Don't even read it, don't even spell it. I would stay, je resterai. Okay? We would stay. We, there's my exception. Nous resterions. Okay? Good. To like, aimer. Aimer. Okay? I would like. So what's my verb to like? Aimer. Now what do I need for both the will and the would tenses? I need to find the R at the end of the letter. So let's just write this one out, okay? So if we have aimer, okay, then normally if we pronounce this word on its own, it's going to be aimer. But what do we do when our verb ends in an R and we need it to prepare for the future or the conditional? Aimer. Can I remind you, the sound goes down. Like director, directeur, okay? So you would like, for example, tu aimerais. You are joining your was endings on the end of the R. Now for the moment, I would prefer that this be in the head. I would prefer that the sound happens in your head. So aimerais rather than A-I-M-E-R-A-I-S. Okay, let's do some more. So I would speak with the teacher. I would speak with the teacher. And notice this tense is often coupled with the imperfect tense. Okay, the teacher, sorry, they were there. Let's say they were there. Ils étaient là. So I would speak with the teachers if they were there. Or going the other way around. If the teachers were there, I would speak with the teachers. So you're going to be using both of your messy tenses together. The difference being the was tenses, the imperfect tenses. You have your a, ion, eaa endings halfway through the verb. And on your would endings, everything is going to be after the are. So let's do some more. So I would speak with them. Je. Now pause question. Is I a nous or a vous? No, so don't even think, just give me a straight away. So I would think je parlerai. You would think tu parlerais. Il parlerait. Yes, nous parlerions, vous parleriez, mais il parlerait. Okay? Good. They would dance. Yeah, if I asked them, they would dance. But let's just do that they would dance. So is they a nous or a vous? No, it's plural, but it's not nous or vous. It's a third person. It's away from us. So they would dance. Ils danseraient. Okay, ils danseraient. Let's try with some other types of verbs. So prendre, finir. Okay, can I remind you, like with the other, with the future tense, that although your verb may have an R in it, okay, we might sometimes need to do a little bit of trickery when we write. But let's do the sound first. So the verb to take is prendre. So find me the R in your mouth. Prendre, to take. So he would take, we're in would, not in will, which means everybody's going to be in A apart from nous and vous. So he would take, il prendrait, okay? So if my verb is prendre, okay, I'd normally have an E there, wouldn't I? Prendre, okay? And when I'm linking to any of these, prendrions. They're written together as one word. They're written there as two words because I'm making the point, okay? Nous prendrions, okay? Let's do another type of verb. So if we had an IR verb, finir. We can hear the R again, finir. So I would finish, je finirai. You would finish, tu finirais. He would finish, il finirait. We would finish, nous finirions, or on finirait, using the on like he and she. Vous finiriez, okay, il finirait. So everybody's going to have an A apart from nous and vous. Okay, can I ask you, if you're confident on this video, to remind yourself that we're going to now look at two other things in the next two videos. We're going to look at the exceptions for the future, okay, and we are going to look at jumping backwards and forwards between will and would, which is very useful, okay. If you've liked the video, if it's helped you try and find things in a less of a listing way, then can I please ask you to click like underneath. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to contact me, and all of the contact details can be found underneath. By all means send me a Skype hello, by all means send me an email, it'd be lovely to hear from you. Okay, thank you very much.